Hi guys, and welcome back to another yoga video from me. Today we're going to be having a little bit of a play with balance. We're going to be building up a little bit of heat and working our way to soaring into eagle pose, which is one of my absolute favourite balances. We're going to be doing some single leg stuff, we're going to be opening the shoulders a little bit and hopefully having a little bit of fun too. So we're going to start in child's pose. So really take the time to get the body comfortable. You take the knees nice and wide, connect the big toes and extend the arms forwards. So really take the opportunity to really reach into those fingertips. And to feel some length all the way from the fingertips down towards your heels. Try and keep the arms active in this child's pose, so palms pressed down towards the floor, elbows are lifted. And we're sending the breath all the way down the back of the body, so between the shoulder blades, into the armpits, all the way down the back through the rib cage and into the hips. And as you rest the body here, begin to notice your breath. So notice where the breath is moving. Notice the length of your breath. Maybe the sound of your breath or the temperature of the air moving in and out of your body. Whatever awareness works for you, begin to tune into it. Let any external thoughts or noises that creep into the mind go on their own way. And we'll take just a couple more breaths here. Really tuning into that breath. And then keeping the length in your body, begin to walk your hands over to the right hand side of your mat. So slide your hands over. We might find the left hand come to rest on top of that right hand as we find the length all the way down that left hand side of your body. Walk the hands all the way back to centre, extend them out, and then bring them all the way over to the left. Again, this time maybe the right hand comes to rest on top of that left. Breathe into that space down the right hand side of your body. And then reach the arms all the way back out in front of you, stretching them forwards. If you've got some blocks to hand, pop them underneath your elbows. If you don't worry. But wherever we are, let the elbows come to rest onto the blocks or onto the floor. Let the palms press together and then begin to draw the thumbs towards the back of your head. So giving you maybe a little bit more space to breathe into the chest, particularly if you've got the elbows elevated onto those blocks. And still having that feeling of pressing the bottom away from you, maybe the thumbs draw a little closer towards the back of the shoulders. And we'll take one more breath. And then extending the arms all the way back out. Roll yourself all the way up towards hands and knees. We'll pop the blocks to one side if you've got them. Stack the hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. I'm just going to draw some circles with the body. Begin to swirl the hips around. Don't worry about any little pops or cracks. And then take those movements back in the opposite direction. It's beginning to warm into the hips, the shoulders, the wrists. Then bring yourself all the way to stillness. Spread the fingertips as wide as possible. Tuck the toes under. Knees lift, belly back towards the thighs, downward facing dog. Take a moment to maybe have a little wriggle of the positioning of the feet. Maybe a little bit of a pedal of the feet, one heel coming down towards the ground, followed by the other. And then rolling all the way up onto your tiptoes, roll the body forwards towards a plank position. From here, bend into the knees and press it back to downward facing dog. Let's do that 2 more times, rolling the body forwards towards a plank position. Bending into the knees, pressing it back. Final time, roll the body forwards towards a plank position. Bend into the knees, press it all the way back. From here, as you inhale, right leg lifts towards the ceiling. Bend into the knee. And we're going to draw some nice big circles with that leg. So begin to move the leg around. Noticing what else is stabilizing you. And then bringing yourself to neutral, point into the toes. And from here, step the right foot forwards between your hands. Left knee comes down towards the floor. And as you inhale, arms reach up towards the ceiling. Reach into those fingertips, maybe slide the hips forwards. Sweep the arms around behind you, clasp the hands together, press the hands down, chest draws towards the ceiling. Bring your body all the way back to center. Inhale to reach the arms up. Exhale, arms reach forwards. Left arm crosses on top of right. Hands come to the opposite shoulders and maybe we wriggle those fingertips round the back of the body. Breathe into that space between your shoulder blades. And either staying here or maybe beginning to bring backs of the hands towards each other. Maybe finding that full wrap of the arms as your palms come to touch. Really interlock the elbows. Take one more breath. Unravel the arms, pop the hands down towards the floor, tuck the back toes under, step it all the way back to plank position. Either lowering to the knees or coming down in one straight line. As you inhale, lift the chest to find cobra. Tuck your back toes under, step it all the way back to downward facing dog. As you inhale, left leg rises towards the ceiling. Bend into the knee, swirl that knee round in those lovely big circles. Just beginning to notice how your body feels here as you swirl the leg around. And then finding stillness, point into those left tiptoes. And from here, step the left foot forwards between the hands, knee lands to the floor on the right leg. Inhale to reach the arms up, stretch into those fingertips. Nice and strong into the left leg, swirl the hands round behind you, clasp the hands together, press them down, squeeze shoulder blades, chest begins to lift. And from here, releasing the hands, inhale to sweep the arms up. Exhale to reach the arms forwards, and this time we're going to let the opposite arm come to rest on top. Find the opposite shoulders, wriggle those fingertips round. Either staying here or laying backs of the hands draw towards each other, maybe finding that full wrap of the arms. Squeeze the forearms towards each other, squeeze those elbows, breathe into the space in the back of your body. And then unraveling. Hands come down either side of that front foot, tuck the back toes under, step it all the way back to plank position. Either lowering to the knees or coming all the way down in one straight line. As you inhale, lift the chest to find cobra. Tuck the toes under, downward facing dog. Soften into your knees, let your hands walk back towards your feet. Inhale, hands rest onto the shins, flatten your back. Exhale, hands come down, reach the arms up high. Hands come down to the heart. Bring the feet a little closer together. From here, hands staying at the heart, bend at the knees, hinge at the hips, sit yourself down towards your chair pose. Weights into your heels. Reach the arms forwards, maybe up a little bit if that feels okay in your shoulders. Inhale here. As you exhale, sweep the arms around behind you, come up onto your tiptoes, take the body forwards. Inhale, let the heels drop, arms lift. Exhale, sweep the arms forwards, come up onto your tiptoes, diver's pose. Inhale, heels drop, arms lift. Exhale, sweep behind, core engages as we come up onto those tiptoes. Inhale, heels drop, arms lift. And this time we hold here as we exhale, we sweep the arms behind, up onto those toes. Reach the fingertips behind you. Can we come a little higher onto the tiptoes, almost tip that body forwards a little bit more. Take one more breath. As you inhale, heels drop, arms lift, back to chair pose. And as you exhale, forward fold. Inhale, hands rest onto the shins, flatten your back. Exhale, hands come down, walk the hands forwards towards your plank position. Either lowering to your knees or maybe finding chaturanga. As you inhale, lift the chest to find your way to cobra. Tuck the toes under, downward facing dog. Inhale, sweep the right leg up towards the ceiling. Take a bend into the knee, step the right foot forwards between the hands. Inhale to reach the arms up, high lunge. Hands come down towards the heart. As you inhale, we're going to power into that front leg. Begin to find a little hover of the leg behind you. Warrior 3. Hold here. Maybe soften into that standing leg a little bit. Hands can stay at the heart or maybe they reach behind us. And then bringing the hands back towards the heart. Can we slowly stand it all the way up, lifting that left knee in front of you. From here, begin to slide the leg back behind you, soften into your standing leg, bring it back towards your warrior 3. Do that one more time, so drawing the body up, lifting that knee in front of you, and then sliding it all the way back away, holding back here in our lovely little warrior 3. Really extend that leg behind you, maybe let the chest drop a little bit more. One more inhale. And as you exhale, soften into your standing leg. Nice big step all the way back to your high lunge. Inhale to reach the arms up. Exhale, hands come down towards the heart. From here we're going to rotate towards the right hand side. Let the left elbow come to rest down onto the right thigh. Press the hands together, rotate the chest. And then hovering the elbow all the way back up away from the thigh, bring it all the way back to center. Inhale to reach the arms up. Exhale, hands come down either side of that front foot, step it all the way back to your plank position. Either lowering to the knees or maybe finding that halfway chaturanga hover. In which case we inhale to turn the feet, lift the chest, upward facing dog. And from here, tuck the toes under, downward facing dog. Walk the feet in ever so slightly. Really ground down into the left hand. And from here we're going to let the right hand reach over towards the outside of the left leg. So that might be the knee, maybe the shin, it might be the ankle. Think spiraling through that upper body. Think balance. Take one more breath. And then floating that right hand back down towards the floor. Slide the feet back a little bit, back to downward facing dog. And as you inhale, left leg sweeps up towards the ceiling. Take a bend into the knee, step the left foot forwards between the hands. As you inhale, reach the arms up towards our high lunge. From here, hands come down towards the heart. Prepare, and we're going to begin to bring ourselves forwards onto the left leg. Right leg lifts behind. Little bit of softening into that standing leg. And from here, can we slowly begin to draw the body all the way up, letting that right knee lift in front. And then beginning to slide that leg all the way back again, bringing it back to warrior three. From here, slowly bringing it all the way back up, letting that knee lift in front. And then tilting it all the way back towards our lovely little warrior three, holding here. Pressing that lifted heel away from you, tilting the torso down a little bit more. Inhaling here. And as you exhale, nice deep bend into that standing leg, step it all the way back towards high lunge. Inhale to reach the arms up. Exhale, hands come down to the heart, begin to rotate towards the left, and maybe let the right elbow come to rest down onto that left thigh. Press the hands together, rotate the chest, have that feeling of drawing the left hip back. Hovering the elbow away from the thigh, bring yourself all the way back to center. Inhale to reach up high. Exhale, hands come down either side of your front foot, step it all the way back to plank position. Either lowering to the knees or maybe coming down through chaturanga. If you come to the floor, lift towards cobra. Tuck the toes under, downward facing dog. Shortening that stance of your downward facing dog just a little bit. Press into your right hand and begin to draw your left hand to the outside of your right leg. Maybe taking the shin, maybe the ankle. Really pressing into that right hand and beginning to look underneath your right armpit. Breathing here. Taking one more breath. Then unraveling the arms, pop the hand back down towards the floor. Gaze comes forward between your hands, either step, walk or hop yourself to the top of your mat. Inhale, hands rest onto the shins, flatten your back. Exhale, fingertips reach to the floor, and as we sweep the arms forwards, keep the knees bent, reach the arms up, chair pose. Weights really nice and down into those heels. Arms reach forwards. And crossing the right arm over the top of the left. Maybe taking opposite shoulders, maybe backs of hands, maybe finding that full wrap of the arms. Keep those elbows lifted. And coming up onto the tiptoes of your left foot. Releasing the arms at any point if you need to. Can we hover that left foot? And then we begin to tilt the arms forwards as the left leg reaches behind, finding a brief transition to our warrior three. Bending into your right knee, nice big step all the way back, high lunge. Let the elbows lift, find a little bit of a back bend. And then bringing yourself all the way back through to neutral. Unravel the arms, reach them out, drop that back heel, open the body out, warrior two. Turn through the front palm, reach it forward, sweep it up towards the ceiling, open that side waist. Reverse warrior. Inhale, bring it all the way back through, warrior two. Exhale, windmill the hands down either side of that front foot. Step it all the way back to your plank position. Rolling the body over towards the left hand. Let the right arm sweep up, side plank. So feet can stagger, they can stack. Left knee can come to the floor if we need a little bit more support. Take one more inhale. And as you exhale, hand comes all the way down towards the floor. Either lowering to the knees or coming all the way down in one straight line, maybe finding chaturanga. Inhale to a back bend. Tuck the toes under, downward facing dog. Taking a full breath here. And then inhaling to sweep the right leg up. Nice deep bend into the knee, thigh towards belly as we step the right foot forwards between the hands. Walk the fingertips forwards, weight comes into right leg as left leg lifts towards the ceiling, standing splits. Fingertips can stay to the floor, or maybe we walk the hands back and maybe we take hold of that right ankle. Keep that lifted leg doing some of the work. Taking one more breath. And then fingertips coming back to the floor, stepping left foot next to right. Fingertips sweep the ground as we bend into the knees, lift all the way up to our chair pose. Reach into those fingertips. Can we sit that body a little bit lower? And then reaching the arms forwards. This time left arm crosses on top of right. Take that wrap of the arms in whatever way is working for you. And then coming up onto the tiptoes of the right foot this time. Hover the toes away from the floor. And begin to slide the leg behind you. Finding your way briefly to that lovely little warrior three. And then begin to bend into your standing leg. Nice big step all the way back to your high lunge. Inhale to lift those elbows, finding a little bit of a back bend. Then bringing it back to neutral. Unraveling those arms, reaching them out, dropping the back heel open out to warrior two. Turn through your front palm, reach it forwards and sweep it all the way up towards the ceiling, reverse warrior. Bring it back through, warrior two, inhale here. As you exhale, windmill the hands down either side of your front foot, step it all the way back to your plank position. Taking that little roll over to the right hand side this time, left arm grows tall towards the ceiling, side plank. And again we can stagger or stack the feet or drop that right knee for support. Inhale here. As you exhale with control, rolling all the way back to plank. Finding your vinyasa, so either lowering to the knees or maybe finding chaturanga. As you inhale, lift the chest. Tuck the toes under, downward facing dog. Bring the gaze forwards between the hands, either step, walk or hop yourself to the top of your mat. Inhale, hands rest onto the shins, flatten your back. Exhale, soften the knees, reach the arms up high. Hands come down to the heart. Bringing yourself back to chair pose, so hands at the heart, knees begin to bend. We're going to find our way towards our full eagle. So we'll start with the legs. Come up onto the tiptoes of your right foot. Let that foot begin to lift. And keeping the bend in this standing leg, can we cross the right leg over the top? We might stay here. Toes might come to a block. Or maybe we press the little toe to the outside of the foot. Sorry, the outside of the leg. We might tuck the foot round the back of the leg. Maybe staying here. Maybe we reach those arms out in front. And from here we cross the left arm on top of the right, finding our way to our version of eagle arms. So opposite shoulders, backs of hands, full wrap of the arms. Breathe here. If you're finding balance a little tricky, don't worry. Just take your time to come in and out of the posture. And take one more breath on this side. And then unraveling the arms, unraveling the legs, bring it all the way back. Maybe have a little shake out of that standing leg. And then we'll come to the opposite side. So setting yourself up again for our chair pose. So hands at the heart, sit yourself down. Come up onto the tiptoes of the left foot this time. Hover that left foot firm into this right leg, and can we cross the leg over the top? Either toes to a block, little toe to the outside of the leg, or wrapping the foot all the way around the edge. Again, we can stay here, or maybe the arms reach forwards. And this time right arm comes on top, either opposite shoulders, backs of the hands, or that full wrap of the arms. Wherever you are, take your time. Have that feeling of squeezing your inner thighs towards each other. We'll take one more breath here. And then unraveling the arms, unraveling the legs, popping that foot down again, maybe having a little shake out of that standing leg. We'll come to the top of your mat. Inhale to reach your arms up. Exhale to forward fold. Inhale, hands rest onto the shins, flatten your back. Exhale, hands come down, and from here we'll step it all the way back to our child's pose again. Take those knees nice and wide, connect the big toes, press it all the way back. Letting the body rest here as much as feels good for you. So arms can be fully extended, they might let forearms melt to the floor. Finding your breath. Noticing that little bit of heat we've found in the body. And then walking the hands all the way back towards the knees, taking a little roll to one side, and we'll bring ourselves all the way down to seated. Feet flat to the floor, let the fingertips point towards the bottom, or maybe turn out slightly if that full rotation feels too much on the wrists. I'm going to press the hands into the floor, press the feet into the floor, squeeze the hips up, finding your way to our reverse box position. So opening the front of the chest, we might stay here, we might squeeze the hips a little higher. If this feels okay, we might begin to extend the legs forwards, one at a time as we press the hips high to our reverse plank position. Keep squeezing the glutes, lift the hips a little higher if we can, take one more breath. And then slowly bringing the hips all the way back down towards the ground. Take a moment to release the arms, maybe have a little shake into those wrists. And then we're going to bring the soles of the feet together. Let the knees drop to the side. So Baddha Konasana, feet can be as close to the bottom as is comfortable. Hands rest onto the lower legs. Inhale to draw up. Exhale to take a little walk forwards of those hands, maybe clasping around the toes, maybe extending the torso. Beginning to really tune into your breath, breathing into the back of your body. And as you exhale, we might find a little bit of a wriggle, drawing the torso just a little bit lower. Tune into your breath. Your exhale become longer, let it become your releasing breath. That feeling of your chest traveling forwards towards your feet. I'm going to take 2 more breaths here. And then slowly easing yourself all the way back up. Use the hands to the outside of your knees to guide them in towards each other, and then bring yourself to a comfortable seated position. We'll close the class just by tuning into our breath. So maybe let your hands rest onto your knees, either palms facing down, which can be more grounding, palms facing up, which is more receiving, or maybe one hand resting onto the heart, the other onto the belly. Whatever works for you. Let your eyes close. Begin to tune into the breath. Noticing the rise and fall of the chest. Tuning into that feeling of the breath arriving and retreating. So it's almost like a wave. That wave coming in, tenderly lapping the shore. And then that soft release of the wave as it's drawn back into the sea. Maybe visualizing that with the arrival and retreat of your breath. And in doing so, maybe noticing that breath softening and lengthening. Just taking a couple more breaths here in this awareness. And then letting that awareness begin to drift away. Letting your hands release to a prayer position in front of your heart. Inhale to really grow tall. And as you exhale, taking a bow to close our practice. Namaste. Thank you again for joining me. I hope that felt fabulous in your body. It really helped you tune in. If you'd like to join me again, then by all means subscribe or follow me on social media or on YouTube, and I hope to see you again soon.